but I don't want to be focused on money. But you have to be, you're forced to be. And it's this fight and this battle between moving towards this beauty, this creative genius and beauty that you see, because that, you know, that's good because the way, for me, I know it's good because of the way it makes me feel, the idea of it all. Listening to John Fogerty speak, and I'm like, yeah, that is beautiful. That is something that you want to be around. You want to witness it. You want to appreciate it. You want to be involved with it. I always find it fascinating when you hear conversations, and this is what I think podcasts are so good, because you hear these conversations with these people that might not seem normal to you, and then you realize they are normal. It's just a set of procedures that have got them here, and it's a love of the game, in a sense, that really gets the people here. Sure, you can work hard at it and whatever and learn, but at the end of the day, with anything that you do, I do think it's better off if you fucking love it. You will get further if you love it. Like with this, I could give up. I get 2 views, like I said, 3, 4, 5 views every fucking video. I've had a video that got 0 views, which, how? But it doesn't matter to me, because I love doing this, because this helps me, or this is my passion. Just like John Fogerty would probably play to himself, he doesn't need a crowd, because he's his own crowd in a way. Seems sad to say. But then if you just play to yourself, and over time you learn and you develop your skill and you really master the craft and you enjoy it at the same time, that's beautiful. That's why I don't want to be sitting here and creating content. I'm not a content creator. I don't want to seem like everyone else. I just want to do what I want to do, whatever makes me happy, whatever I feel is right. And I don't think I can do it any other way. Thanks for watching. Thanks for clicking on the video. Just want to say what my videos are like. Take a little bit of patience. There's no big edits. There's no grabbing your attention here and there. The value, I think, is in the words that I say. And if you focus on them, you know, who knows what will come from it, what value we'll get from it. But that's my main priority, is the thoughts I speak and the words I say is where my value is, not the big edits. But if you want shorter clips, I do the best bits of every video, post them on my other social media, TikTok, Instagram. Check them out. And I also do Spotify. So if you don't finish the video or you prefer to listen, check me out on Spotify, all the same name, link in the description. But yeah, enjoy. So today we're going to talk about John Fogerty, which before listening to him on Joe Rogan, never heard of him, never heard of his band, but he's a Grammy winner, he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and from the band Creedence. And I've been listening to this podcast that he's on, and it's absolutely fascinating, because I can tell he's a legend. I can tell he's well known, and I can tell that I'm someone who's missed out. And I want to document this moment because you don't really get many legends that you've never heard of, that you've never delved into. And I think I know that once I start listening to his music, I'll realize who he is, and when I delve more into it, how big he is. You know, and for probably people that are watching this who know who he is, they're probably thinking, Jesus, this fucking guy, how does he not know? You know? And I'm waiting for that moment for when I listen to his music for the first time to get that realization of how good he is, how good the band is and everything like that. But his story is fascinating. And I just wanted to talk about him today. Talk about a guy who you can just tell as he speaks, he's got a passion and a love for music. And that's all that he wants to do. He doesn't want this fame. He doesn't want this big lifestyle. He doesn't want to be someone who he's not. And that is so refreshing to see. That, to me, is the authentic personality I want to be around, I want to see, I want to be involved with. Someone who just has this passion. You can't get something better than when someone just has like a massive passion for something, especially when it's creative, when it comes to something like music. When it comes to an art form, to me, of just pure beauty. And it makes me remember the first time I actually in person heard a good singer. And I was like shocked. I couldn't believe. I'm like, obviously, you know, you hear people and you listen to people that are fantastic singers, but for some reason with me it doesn't really click until it's in person. Same with football. When I watched football for the first time in person in a stadium, I was like shocked. I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. And the first time I heard this girl sing who was in my college on the stage, I was like, how the fuck is that coming out of someone's mouth? How is someone's body producing those notes? That makes no sense. And then you know, since then I've obviously been to live shows and stuff like that, and hearing talented people, not only with the voice, but with their hands playing instruments. I mean, I've been to some fantastic concerts, some phenomenal shows, and it really just like takes me back. And I sit there and I'm like, we're so fucking lucky as a species to be able to produce some of the creative things we produce. And when we're talking about art, we're talking about, I mean, everything. Some of the videos people make on social media are phenomenal. It's ridiculous that some people can produce that in an art form, have that creativeness. And it makes me think of how special humans actually are when it comes to that. And I look at that and say, that's got to be our superpower. That's got to be our, you know, you look at a giraffe, you say, long neck. You look at an elephant and you say, the size of it. You look at different creatures and species and they've got something about them that you recognize. That you say, that is that species. And I think as humans, we obviously can't really see that for ourselves. Normally we would just say humans, destructive. But I look at humans and I say, creative. Like, how the fuck are we creating that? That's coming out of us. You look at art, you look at paintings, and you look at, like I said, music. And when it comes to John Fogerty speaking, and he's talking about, it fascinates me, it's talking about the creativity, talking about the muse, talking about how we can walk into a room and 20 minutes later he's got a song, he's done it. And it's this massive hit. And it's like, we've not sat down, we've not created a plan, we've not done step by steps. We've gone into a room and we've just let ourselves be ourselves, and it's created a masterpiece. And I think, I don't know if we're just too used to it, but I think we overlook that. We overlook the human mind and the thoughts that we have and what things turn into. When we're looking at us as a positive, most of the time we're looking at ourselves as a negative, as a species. But I also find it fascinating that someone like me cannot know who he is, can have no idea. I've never heard a song by them. Maybe it's not because it's in my culture, but I've never heard a song, and yet you can have someone who is so popular, who is so influential to, I guess, rock and roll by the sounds of what they're talking about. And yet me, I cannot know who he is. And I think that goes on to the point of he's not in it for fame. And that's the thing I get attracted to. That's the thing I see the beauty in, that he's not doing it for money. He's not doing it for popularity, to feel better about himself. He just wants to play goddamn fucking music. He wants to just create the most beautiful sounds. And I think a little bit today, we are focused too much on the success of fame, of money. We're not focused on the success of what it actually is, the beauty of it, the art of it. I've said in other videos, we're not creating content to show the beauty in the creating content. We're creating content to get famous, to get money, to fill our egos. Rather than, like I say, my value is in the words. I'm trying to say, evaluating me. I don't want the credit. I don't want anything. It's the ideas I'm talking about that should get the credit. And I think there's too much of people wanting the credit rather than just almost being a vessel for this creativity that we have, that we can produce. We're just a vessel. And when we talk about the music, it's this magical thing that feels like it must flow through you. And I feel it. You can't sit down and pinpoint it scientifically and say, these steps are going to get to this. If I just do exactly this every time, it will create a hit song. It will create a thought that blows my mind. No, you got to sit down every day. And if you're there, the creativity comes to you. You just got to do the action. And sometimes it'll come, sometimes it won't. And this is what John Fogerty is saying. And it's beautiful because there's not maybe he had it at the time, but there's not this pressure that you have to do something. It's the enjoyment of in the moment doing what you're doing. Someone like me, I've always wanted to learn to play the guitar. And it's not me, I want to go play the guitar because I want to stand on stage and be a rock star and perform for everyone and make a load of money. I see the beauty in music and what people do, your Jimi Hendrix, your Brian Mays, and I want to feel that in my own hands. I think that's why I want to do it, because I want to be connected to that beauty, that art that's happening. I want to feel a sense of what they're feeling because it's so great what they're creating. Not that they're great, but what they're creating is great. Obviously, the people are still great when it comes to that level of genius. But it just fascinates me. It fascinates me how in the podcast, he is just a normal person too. He's got his own life. He's got his own ups and downs. He's just like me and you. The only thing is, he's got this love and this passion that he's following. And I almost crave that. I crave that idea that I'm following a passion. I'm following something that I care about. Something that I can't not do. That's the thing. He can't not do music. That makes sense. But he has to do music. He has to, because it's just pure love towards it. And I crave that. And if I don't, for this, and probably the same for his music, if he's focusing too much on creating a hit, you're not focusing on the beauty that you actually have. You're not focusing on the muse, the creativity, the beauty. You're focusing on something human, which doesn't feel right. And me, when it comes to these videos, I know, not recently, but I know in the past I've got caught up with what do people want to hear about. I used to do a series about talking to strangers, and it was talking about people's problems, and it was mainly to spark ideas myself. It really helped spark ideas of what to talk about and advice to give and things to talk about. But I stopped it because I felt like it was getting towards too much of a given, too much of like, I have to give advice rather than sparking the thoughts. I was too much towards the human rather than the thought. And then I start finding what do people want to hear about, because if you're talking about stuff people want to hear about, people will watch. Because I'm getting 2 views, 3 views, 4 views, 5 views. And it gets to you a little bit. It gets to you that little bit where, not that I want the fame and the success, but it gets to me where I'm like, I mustn't be talking about things important enough. And listen to podcasts like these, of these creative geniuses talk. It's like, focus on the art. Focus on that beauty. And enjoy that. That's the point of this. The point is to enjoy what the fuck we're chatting about. I like to chat about random shit. I like to express my thoughts. I get thoughts on fucking everything, and I want to get them out of me. And I feel like that's where my passion is. That's where my love is. And I think that's where, for a lot of us in life, we can really change our intentions, be more authentic. We can have a different purpose rather than to make it in this world. And it's difficult because you've got to make money to survive. And if you focus too much on surviving, you forget that you're living. And there's this pressure in society to become someone, to do something impactful, that you forget to just let go and let the tide take you a bit. You forget the beauty in being human. I feel like if you have any other intention, it gets a bit toxic. You know, one day I'm going to have my own business. And I hate the idea of having a business in terms of being this strict, set way, these regulations, you've got to do this, this, and this, and it's all to do with money. That's what puts me off. I don't want to live that life where it's all to do with money, where it's not love and it's not a passion for it, where it's this pressure because you've got to do things that you don't want to do, and not do things you don't want to do in a sense of it builds your character and it makes you a better person. It more forces you to be someone and do things that you just don't enjoy in a sense of your actions just aren't what you want to do. It doesn't want to go in that direction. It's not building your character in things that you want to build it in. If I don't want to swim, I don't want to fucking swim. I don't need to build my character when it comes to water and then skills when it comes to water. I don't want to swim, let's say. And when it comes to managing and being this person in charge and having to be strict or whatever, it's like, I don't want to be that. Don't get me wrong, I want to do my job. I want to create what I want to create, and I want to have the things I want to have in life. But I don't want to be focused on money. But you have to be, you're forced to be. And it's this fight and this battle between moving towards this beauty, this creative genius and beauty that you see, because that, you know, that's good because the way, for me, I know it's good because of the way it makes me feel, the idea of it all. Listening to John Fogerty speak, and I'm like, yeah, That is beautiful. That is something that you want to be around. You want to witness it. You want to appreciate it. You want to be involved with it. You want to appreciate it. You want to see it. I always find it fascinating when you hear conversations, and this is what I think podcasts are so good, because you hear these conversations with these people that might not seem normal to you, and then you realize they are normal. It's just a set of procedures that have got them here, and it's a love of the game, in a sense, that really gets the people here. Sure, you can work hard at it and whatever and learn, but at the end of the day, with anything that you do, I do think it's better off if you fucking love it. You will get further if you love it. Like with this, I could give up. I get 2 views, like I said, 3, 4, 5 views every fucking video. I've had a video that got 0 views, which, how? But it doesn't matter to me, because I love doing this, because this helps me, or this is my passion. Just like John Fogerty would probably play to himself. He doesn't need a crowd, because he's his own crowd in a way. Seems sad to say. But then if you just play to yourself, and over time you learn and you develop your skill and you really master the craft and you enjoy it at the same time, that's beautiful. That's why I don't want to be sitting here and creating content. I'm not a content creator. I don't want to seem like everyone else. I just want to do what I want to do, whatever makes me happy, whatever I feel is right. And I don't think I can do it any other way. I think I can't be asked with that. It becomes too much, becomes too draining. My own body and mind forces me to stay on this path of just being me. But yeah, peace. So I just wanted to hop on here after filming that John Fogerty video, and I listened to Creedence, listened to the music. And what the fuck, man? How have I been missing out on this for so long? Don't get me wrong, I knew 2 of the songs. I recognised them, didn't know this was Creedence. But I've spent all day after filming that video literally listening to Creedence, and I'll spend all day today listening to them as well. Literally every album. I think there was only maybe 2 or 3 songs that I didn't like, which is phenomenal. How the fuck have I gone all this time not knowing? But this is one thing of why I filmed that video, or this video, because I'm going to add this at the end even though it's the next day. I'm like, how can there be such art, such creativity in the world, and I not know about it? And this goes back onto a little bit of the issue with creativity, because there's so much juice out there, there's so much good and legendary stuff, yet we're in this mode of we have to create more, we have to do more, we have to be better. And it's like, when do you ever just sit and appreciate the good fucking stuff that's already out? Because all their albums were phenomenal, except for the most recent one. That was a bit crap. I don't think there was a song on there actually that I liked, but listening to the podcast, he did say that he think that's where things changed. But I couldn't believe it, how good the music was, how much I enjoyed it. I mean, it's the next day for me, but I want to watch the podcast again. Now I know the level of genius that's in the music, the level of talent. It's like I want to listen to the podcast again and listen to what he's talking about to to be as amazed as Joe Rogan was in his conversation, to feel his passion, because it was phenomenal. It is phenomenal. And I love when you just find that new artist and they've got a shit ton of great songs. I mean, I could be sounding old here, even though I'm not fucking old, but music's just not the same anymore. It just doesn't appeal to me as much anymore, the modern music. You get people that bring out hit songs here and there that are great, and don't get me wrong, there are a lot of talented people out there, but just ones that never really hit my taste. And this happens to me. I get obsessed with music. I will listen to this album or this playlist with all their albums in. I'll listen to this for a good month or two. And then I'll weed out the ones that aren't as strong. But then I'll forever, when it comes on, I'll have them all. And to me, I think we take for granted something like that. You know, imagine aliens come down, or aliens are watching us and saying, someone asks them, what are humans? What the fuck do they say? Because we might be so destructive and crazy and erratic, but there is so, like I said earlier on, there's so much fucking beauty. They'd be like, yeah, they're crazy motherfucking chimps, but goddamn, they make some good music. Goddamn, the culture that they've got on Earth is wild, is phenomenal. And it's like a little time capsule. The start of this video to what's happened today, not to be exaggerated, but it feels like a different world. And that's what happens in a weird way when you discover something that's so artistic, so beautiful. It does change your week, your day, your month. It just changes everything. You feel so much different. But yeah, just wanted to hop on and finish that video, and yeah, thanks for watching. Peace again.